going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
This is Duck Insider.
These are good problems to have, right? So much success that you have more than one place to be.
5-3, touchdown, Oregon.
Off the dribble, launches, and hits the three. Oregon leads.
What a great opportunity it is to be able to play at University of Oregon.
I'm just incredibly proud to be a part of something like this.
She wants another three. Oh, three in a row.
Swing and a miss. Oregon is headed to the Super Regional.
Fans being out there making this a great impact.
We are so privileged and so fortunate. We get to see all these young people. We get to see this incredible growth, which is what college is all about.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck Athletics.
Entertaining coaches show last night. Thanks again to Dan Lanning and Terrence Ferguson for joining us. If you missed it, go watch it on the Go Ducks YouTube or the Oregon football social media channels. You can subscribe to the Oregon Sports Network podcast as well. In fact, I'm uploading some things to the Oregon Sports Network podcast today because we talked with Junior Adams, Dan Lanning, Nico Reed, and Patrick Herbert for our 2 o'clock pregame show that gets rolling on Saturday across the Oregon Sports Network. It is Oregon volleyball match day. Duck women's basketball with a win last night. And Deja Kelly is on another preseason watch list. A lot to cover today. We're going to hear from Terrence Ferguson, going to hear from Jordan Birch, talk with Kelly Graves, Deja Kelly, and Peyton Scott, as well as Jamari Caldwell, Nico Reed, Kavika Rogers, all on the show today. But I want to start with just something that was entertaining. I was really glad that Coach Lanning had some fun with us. Scott put this together upon my request and was like, you know what? Yep, let's give it a shot. The theme, of course, coming from Gladiator for Ducks versus them, and well, it was a cool connection that you're talking about the Big House and the fact that the Big House was based on the Coliseum. That's a connection. Let's just play it. Just play it.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Well, so last night we start the show, we play it for Coach Lanning, and he just goes, well done. I like that we can have a little bit of fun about these things. Coach Lanning said The Gladiator was a top 5 movie of all time for him. High praise. I doubled down and I said, don't you think that Dan Lanning could have been the stand-in for Russell Crowe at that point? Seriously. I think he could have been. Coach Lanning and the Ducks, though, I mean, we have fun with it, but the theme of managing that atmosphere, right? The Ducks did that so well at Michigan. Now they manage the atmosphere on the other end of the spectrum when the Ducks host Maryland at 4 o'clock on Big Ten Network on Saturday. Oregon hosting the Terps for the first time. Ducks anticipate a great environment at Autzen Stadium. Hope to see all of you there at Autzen. Now, Terrence Ferguson, he's been through an awful lot lately. He talked a bit about that. The Oregon tight end was with us on the Coaches Show last night, and this is his conversation this week with the general media. T. Ferg talking with us here.
When all did you feel like something was up that all of a sudden you needed surgery real quick?
That Tuesday, I kind of woke up and, had some pain in that area, and when I got here in the morning, and I practiced, and after practice just kind of felt a little weird. So went in, and honestly it was a God thing because there's no other symptoms, and, we decided to get a CAT scan, and it showed up on there. So, I'm just blessed that I didn't get on the plane to even go to Purdue.
Mm-hmm. Did it burst?
No, it didn't burst. It just was appendicitis.
What was what was the process of getting back from, it's kind of a weird situation to come back from that particular thing. What were kind of the things you were working on or worried about in terms of coming back from that?
Yeah, it's just letting the incisions heal in the abdominal wall, just from like the surgery and everything. So it's not too much of having to rehab anything. It's just more like taking the time off, and kind of that's the hardest thing as a football player, is just sitting around, not really doing too much, So that was kind of like the biggest thing.
What did you take away watching your room while you were out for a couple of weeks?
Oh, it was amazing. They did a great job. I was proud of those guys. Kenyon and Pat played really well, and it's nice when you know that the guys right behind you are good players, and you're not like there's no drop off. So it was really cool to watch them play.
Were you still able to come around the facility basically every day after that?
Yeah.
Or what was kind of walk us through what maybe the week after directly was kind of like? Was it very different for you aside from not playing?
Yeah, it's the first games I've ever missed, probably ever in my life, I think, playing football. So, you know, it's hard just sitting there watching. But it gave me a good time just to kind of help the young guys, help them. I really coached them up, and really I was there every day at meetings, doing everything just like a normal player, just wasn't practicing or lifting. So, you know, just being able to help those guys on being on the sideline, being an extra coach, it was pretty cool. And, you know, I took all the mental reps I could, so I was ready when I came back.
Did they expect it to be 2 weeks from the beginning?
Yeah, we kind of shot for the Michigan game. There's a lot of people that have had the surgery and they come back within 2 weeks, 8 days, some people even so just kind of, we went with the 2 weeks because that was the best kind of gauge for us.
Okay. How do you feel like you played in this first game back?
I thought I played well. You know, honestly, I felt a little rested up, so, you know, felt pretty fresh. Knocked off some rust. Obviously, I hadn't blocked or done anything like that all for the past 2 weeks, so just kind of getting back to that, but I feel like I played well.
What do you see from these guys where it seems like a lot of their disruption, a lot of their production comes from the second level, and whether it be inside backers or outside backers, it seems like that's where a lot of their havoc comes from.
Yeah, no, they play relentless, and they stop the run very well, so I think that's something they take pride in, and I think the second level guys really help out, especially with the interior guys. I think they kind of play off of each other, and I think that's why they get some of the production they do. But they just pride themselves in stopping the run, so they're a good team.
Terrence Ferguson talking with Mina. Great to have him back. And then Ducks have been without T for a couple weeks, also without Jordan Birch for a few weeks, and Jordan Birch back at it now. Jordan Birch talked with the media about his return, and similar to T-Ferg, what he saw from the guys behind him. Great stuff talking with Jordan Birch, who figures to be a big part of Oregon's containment of a pretty good passing game for Maryland. Jordan Birch talking with the media this week.
So what all happened on your birthday there that put the damper on things?
I was doing like a drill, foot got stuck in the ground, and I had like a little injury, so, you know, I had to take a few weeks off.
Did they know immediately it was going to be surgery, or?
No, not immediately, but it took them a little minute to figure out what was going on.
It's a knee. It could get kind of scary. Did you have any worry that it was going to be the end of your season, or walk us through kind of the emotions in the day or two after?
A little bit, but once they like kind of told me what it was and told me like, you know, I'll be out for a few weeks, and then I was like, okay, I'll be fine. Just do some rehab and get back on the field.
How hard was it to miss that Ohio State game?
Yeah, it was. I was a little sad, you know, but I knew my guys had my back, and then like the way they practiced and the way they prepared for the game, I didn't really, you know, have any worries about what was going to happen.
You ever had any knee injury before of any kind?
Last year for the championship, that was my first time. So.
Same knee?
No, different. Yeah.
What did you think about how the guys performed kind of in your absence there? What did you think of your group?
Yeah, they did pretty good. I already knew they were, like the way they are in meetings, still asking questions. I didn't think there would be a fall off at all, you know. We always talk about next man up and what we could do. So they go into the game, they're all ready.
How did it feel to be back out there on Saturday?
Yeah, it felt great because, you know, I started running on last Sunday, and then, you know, my first practice was Thursday, and then we had to leave. So I'm like, if I can get that chance to put my feet on the ground and start running, I'm going to play with the guys. So it felt amazing just to be with everybody.
Do you feel like you're ready to play a full four quarters and a full game like that?
Yeah, I think I'm ready now. You know, I got the rehab, and I'm practicing now, so everything should be good going forward.
How close to 100% are you?
I think I am. I think I'm there. So.
What did you see from the young guys while you were out?
Great communication. Them working together, asking questions. You know, doing everything they need to, you know, have everything come together on Saturday. And, you know, they're still doing it now. So like I said earlier, there's no fall off. Everybody's still, you know, preparing.
Does it excite you to what the possibilities are with now you and Teo on the field? I mean, you were doing it a little bit in the beginning of the season, but seeing what his production was when you were out, what the two of you could do together now?
Yeah, I mean, while I was out, I was still talking to him, telling him like these moves will work. You know, he pretty much got it. I think he's prepared and ready. So, not much I can say to him, but yeah, can't wait to be back on the field with him.
It's probably the most pass-happy offense you'll face this year. What's it? I know probably not a ton of changes in terms of preparation, but your mindset going in when you know they're going to throw the ball 40 times or so.
just seeing how we can rile up the quarterback and get after him, what moves will work, and what we can do to affect the O-line. Just going in and preparing for that.
What do you see from their quarterback?
I think he's pretty good. Watching film, I can see he likes to get out of the pocket, and he has a pretty good arm. So just trying to key in which way he likes to roll out and try to get after him.
Who's the surgeon who deserves the credit for getting you back so fast?
I don't know his name. So
Slocum, or?
I think it was Slocum. Yeah, to get his name.
Our friends at Slocum, the official team doctors for nearly 6 decades now for Oregon athletics. But hey, shout out to Jordan Birch, Terrence Ferguson, both working their way back. Tough thing to do, and what you love, and at least what I love, for seeing guys that go through that adversity. Then they're sitting there talking about how the Kenyon Sadiqs, Patrick Herberts, Mateo Iungalales of the team was like no drop-off. I think it's cool to hear that from some veterans who certainly the Ducks miss, but that speaks to the depth and the culture of this roster that Dan Lanning has. Women's basketball last night moved to 2-0. Breaking down some women's basketball updates. Hear a bit from Kelly Graves. Also, another watch list for Deja Kelly. Quick timeout. Back to the Country Financial Studio. Next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
Heather and I had an argument just like any other couple. I was lost. I had snapped. I had a gun and I was going to take my own life. Heather helped me realize that there was still a life to live for the better of myself, my family. My weapon is now safely put away.
A moment of crisis can happen to anyone. Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
We're back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Dave asking a question that I honestly should have talked about earlier. Have you heard anything they're going to do for the Oregon football, or at the Oregon football game, to honor the veterans for the upcoming holiday on Monday? Dave, yes. If you haven't seen the this year's line of military appreciation Oregon swag is out, and head to the Duck store. They'll definitely take care of you. They've got. That's step one. The release happened this week, heading in toward Veterans Day on Monday. And then I actually just got done recording a recognition for some first responders, also honoring them coming up on Saturday. And we do our veteran of the game every single week. And this one's a special one this week. They're all really important, don't get me wrong. But sometimes when you get some from certain eras that just have various accomplishments that it's inspiring. I don't have any other way to say it. So, Dave, yes, there will be some recognition at the Oregon football game with Veterans Day coming up on Monday. Great question. I'm sorry I didn't talk about that earlier. We'll talk a little bit more football coming up, but women's basketball last night, relatively convincing victory for Kelly Graves and company. The Ducks started out with that exhibition win 110-21 over Warner Pacific. Just a mismatch there. Then a 93-63 win over California Baptist. Competition level goes up a little bit when Nevada comes to town. And Oregon won soundly, 76-58, behind, 4 players in double figures, led by Deja Kelly's 21, Muhammad's 13, Scott's 12, and Whitfield's 10. Now, I was listening to Chris Clayton and Bev Smith on the call here on the Oregon Sports Network, and they were just talking about the efficiency. The Ducks shot 51% overall. They forced 20 turnovers, scored 20 points off those turnovers. They won the rebounding battle. Overall, I thought Oregon a relatively convincing win over a decent Nevada team. Don't look now, but Oregon's 2 basketball teams might be really fun to watch this year. Now, coming off that performance, and we're going to hear from Deja Kelly in just a moment, the Oregon guard, Deja Kelly, one of 50 athletes named to the preseason watch list for the Los Angeles Athletics Club John R. Wooden Award. It's announced today. Kelly named to the John R. Wooden Award watch list for the 3rd consecutive season. As a junior in 22-23, was selected to the mid-season top 25 watch list. In October, Kelly was one of 20 athletes named to the Nancy Lieberman Point Guard of the Year watch list and one of 50 selected to the Naismith Trophy Player of the Year watch list. Through 2 games, she's led Oregon to a 2-0 record, averaging 15.5 points, 5.5 assists, 5.5 rebounds. Also a courtside reporter at the Oregon men's game on Monday. Shout out. Wants to be a broadcaster. Deja does, or do something in content creation when she's done playing. 3-time All-ACC first-team selection at North Carolina, now playing for the Ducks. I'll tell you, listening to Chris and Bev last night, and then I was watching the broadcast as well, and at one point, Deja just took a couple dribbles, pulled up at the right elbow, and just drained it. And Chris and Bev were just, man, she can't miss. Like, it's just your night when you're hitting that kind of a shot. And that's what she can do for this team. She distributes, she rebounds, but it's the scoring. When she heats up and she gets going like that, I think Oregon women's basketball is going to be tough to beat. Deja Kelly on the preseason watch list for the John R. Wooden Award. Last night as well, Coach Graves broke it all down for us. Some of his thoughts after the 76-58 win over Nevada. Ducks are 2-0. Women's basketball head coach Kelly Graves meeting with the media postgame, brought to you by our friends at the William Valley Cancer and Student Research Center. Better cancer care close to home. Ducks with a home win last night. Here's Coach Graves.
You know, I'm obviously pleased that we won the game. Unfortunately, I thought that second half we just kind of went through the motions, traded baskets most of the third quarter, and then the fourth quarter we just kind of went dead. And we played a lot of kids, and maybe that was a factor. But I'd like to give Nevada the credit. I thought they did a really good job defensively. They played really hard, and they played all the way to the final buzzer. So, but we did some good things tonight as well. I just think we lost a little bit of intensity. But we really saw in that second quarter when we amp it up defensively, it creates better offense, and we just play better.
What was working in that quarter?
Yeah, we pressured them more. Then we got kind of back on our heels a little bit. In the first quarter, I thought we were just not flat. I think we were ready to play, but they just beat us on back cuts and stuff like that. We just weren't on our toes. The second half, we just got more aggressive. And that was partly by design and partly by, I think, our effort was better.
Can you specifically speak to what Deja did kind of midway through the second quarter to midway through the third quarter?
Yeah, we just wanted her to be more aggressive, more assertive. I don't know if she even got a shot up in the first quarter, and we needed her to do that, and she did it, and she started cooking. And she's, I think, showed what she can do when she's the focal point. So I thought she played really, really well. Good floor game.
Peyton took a couple hard fouls tonight, but bounced up with energy. What is that leadership like? What does that mean to this team after having her kind of almost an assistant coach last year?
Yeah, well, I'm just happy for her. She's back out there, and I think we see now what kind of player we have. I just think with her and Deja, it's a lot of experience, 2 really good senior guards, and they led us, and we needed them tonight, every bit of them. But it still ended up a good victory. Nevada's a good team. They returned most of their players. They're probably a little ahead of us in terms of what they have in and things like that, just because I think they have 6 of their top eight back, so they started from a higher plane. But we're still working on it. We're still a work in progress. But we've got to clean up the fouls. We've got to be a lot more physical. We got to be a lot more engaged. I think our bench has got to come in and just give us a lift like they've done the first couple of games. And so there's just a little bit of everything today. Maybe just weren't as sharp as we should be or wanted to be.
How have you seen Deja and Peyton sort of grow through even just these first 3 games of working off each other as 2 players that have been lead guards before?
Yeah, well, you're looking at 2 players that they're playing kind of desperately a little bit. This is their last go-round, so they want to make the most of it, and you can tell they're like this every day in practice, and it sure is a joy as a coach knowing that I've got those 2, every game, right? Every game. So they're a pleasure to coach. I've been really impressed with Deja. I mean, we knew what we were getting in Peyton. Peyton's she's a gamer. She's a winner. She's a tough kid. Deja, man, she comes in with all those accolades, but I'm telling you, she does a lot of the dirty work. Took the charge last game. She's just really coachable. She's a pleasure to really have, on our team and to coach. And I can see why she's so highly regarded by everybody in the country. And you saw it tonight.
After Cal Baptist, Peyton talked about holding themselves to a standard. Now that the season's underway, how have you seen them day-to-day, the players just kind of hold themselves to that standard?
It's been an amazing group. We work hard. They work well together. The chemistry's been great. We just got to continue to improve. I thought we regressed maybe a little bit from the other night, but the competition was better. These guys were game. They played really hard. But we've got a big one coming up on Sunday, and we got a couple days to prepare for that. But we need to be much better on Sunday to beat Baylor. They're going to obviously be a really, really good team.
Give us a little bit more. What do you know about?
Not much. All my focus was on these 2 this week, and we have a day off tomorrow, and then that's my day to really prep. I think they don't play until tomorrow. I think that's their first game, so we would not have seen much of them. But I think they returned most of their team, and then they added the center from Colorado. So, yeah, they're going to be a formidable foe. But if we play well, certainly a game we can win.
What do you like about how Amina and Alexis complement each other in the front court? It seems like they have some good chemistry with high-low, but what in general do you like?
Yeah, well, Lexi's got a little bit more perimeter game. Mina's good around the rim. She's still getting better. Good finisher. Just their activity, they both can guard any position on the court, so we can do more defensively when they're in the game, especially when we go with a longer guard set. Sophia maybe in the backcourt. We can switch all the screens. We can do a lot more with them. So yeah, they're good friends. I see them hanging out a lot. Upperclassmen, so they have a little bit more experience.
How encouraging was it to get Philly 6.5 minutes tonight?
Yeah, is that what she played tonight? We were told she could go 10. What'd she play?
6:42.
Yeah, we played her a little higher, I think, the other day. But yeah, she's just got to keep working at it. It'll take her some time to work herself back into full shape, but she's hungry and she's ready to get back out. And she's working at it. She made a difference in the time she was there. I told her she had to apologize to that group on the front row because she blocked that kid's shot right into him. I said, those are some of our bigger donors. You can't be swatting them like that. But no, I thought she did a really good job in the time she was there. She just got to get her lower body strength back and her confidence.
I know you mentioned last Friday that Solly could be out for the season. Do you have an update on her?
Yeah, I think that's changed. I think there's a chance we might get her back in 6 or 8 weeks. We'll see. Jeez. Yeah. So we actually got some good news the other day when she went in for a follow-up. Yeah.
What do you think of Sophia's performance, especially with all the guards you guys have now?
Yeah, Sophia's always really solid. That's what we love about her. She plays both ends of the floor, and and that's what I really appreciate about her. You know what you're going to get night in and night out from Sophia Bell.
Shyla's directing the show for us today, and Shyla said, "It's just nice to see people that are happy." Coach Graves is happy. A 2-0 start. Hey, you love to see it. I think that this group that they've assembled by bringing in a lot of transfers for Oregon women's basketball, I think that Coach Graves has assembled a roster that he really likes and has a lot of the experience in the right places. You talk about Deja Kelly, Peyton Scott, who we're going to hear from after the timeout. Veteran guards, right? And complementing with some other veterans. And then some players that have been here now a year or two. I just really like the makeup of their roster. And Coach Graves got a smile on his face the whole time. Shiloh was right. Timeout. When we come back, going to hear from Deja Kelly and Peyton Scott talking women's basketball after their 2-0 start. And then still to come, Nico Reed, Kavika Rogers, Jamari Caldwell talking football on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear autumn leaves, you won't be covering roads alone this season. Take on fall in the powerful Toyota Tundra or tackle trails in a Tacoma. Head to Toyota.com for more info. Toyota, let's go places.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Dear autumn leaves, you won't be covering roads alone this season. Take on fall in the powerful Toyota Tundra or tackle trails in a Tacoma. Head to Toyota.com for more info. Toyota, let's go places.
Your daily dose of Oregon athletics. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
You say you'd never give in to a meltdown and never fill your feed with kid photos. You say you'd never put a pacifier in your mouth to clean it and never let them run wild through the grocery store. So when you say you'd never let them get into a car without you there, no, it can happen. 1 in 4 hot car deaths happen when a kid gets into an unlocked car and can't get out. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
You know, we made that change this year, having the bumper music be Oregon themed, and I got to say I've loved it. It makes me feel like it's an Oregon broadcast for sure. But for the first time this week, I got to listen to it on the other end. Normal, like for football and for men's basketball for Duck Insider, like I've always been the one sitting here doing it, right? Well, I got to just listen to Chris Clayton and Bev Smith calling the women's game on Monday and then last night. And, man, it was awesome. Like, I hear shout, and then I just hear the crowd as must have been Ashley, Andrew, or Chase. Andrew's back in the OSN studio, at least say in my headset. Who was it last night? Was it Chase who was back there? I think that's who it was, right, Andrew? He has no clue. Okay, well, the point is that whoever was running the board for Chris last night, he pots it up, you just hear the music, and you hear the crowd as the fans are all excited. I think it's been great. I'm really thankful that we've been able to do that and have a little bit more uniqueness, Oregon flavor to our broadcast. Anyway, I'm going to stop bragging about our crew right now, and now I'll let you listen to Deja Kelly and Peyton Scott. Two veterans met with the media after Oregon women's basketball moved to 2-0 last night. Deja Kelly, Peyton Scott at the podium.
I felt the second quarter of defensive intensity really ratcheted up in that just offense. Just from your perspective, what was working?
Yeah, we overall just had to pick it up. We were really sloppy and kind of lackadaisical on the defensive end. So us just really picking up our intensity, being more active with our hands, being early to help, being early in our gaps. I think that overall just kind of turned up our intensity and our energy, and again led us to be able to thrive in transition, which is what we want to do, get out and run. So being able to create that energy off of creating turnovers, forcing turnovers, and for us to be able to get to run, that was really the biggest shift in that second quarter.
You guys as leaders, did you guys say something, either one of you, to try to spur that? Was it just through your play to try to set the tone that way?
Yeah, I think we had a timeout, and we had to kind of look in the mirror and decide what team we wanted to be coming out, and we wanted to show some fight, and that definitely starts with us. And so we just came out and got a good 5 in that was going to set the tone and get it back to where we wanted it to be.
Following up on that, Peyton, how encouraging was this? This is game 2, to have a quarter like that you're so dominant against pretty good competition. What does that say about what this team can be in future weeks with more playing time and time together?
Absolutely. I think even more encouraging is that we went through a low and then we was able to fight and come back. And now it's just about finishing games like that, and also not having to get to that point. And so I think it's us just continuing to grow game by game, and it was good for us to see that fight and see that it's there, and just continue to grow on that.
Deja, now that you guys have a couple games under your belt, the two of you as leaders, as voices, I mean, is it really advancing the chemistry between the two of you, kind of how you can maybe play off each other together to kind of set that tone that way?
Yeah, for sure. Me and Peyton know that we're the leaders and we're the voice of this team, so we have to be that consistently. And I think that's what we were trying to emphasize, especially throughout the game. We just can't have drop-offs like we did, and can't really come out and start the way we did, because against the schedule that we have, it's going to come back to bite us. So us being able to be vocalize how consistent we need to be with our energy, and just being sharp from jump and throughout the game all the way till the fourth. So just us being able to carry that on, it starts in practice too, but us knowing that we have to be consistent from that area is something that we're going to continue to build off of.
Deja, Coach said that he kind of needs you to be a little bit more aggressive offensively at the beginning.
Yeah.
You really break open in mid-second to the mid-third. Do you feel like aggression was the reason for that, or would you say a lot?
Yeah, I mean, we got good looks when we first came out, so there wasn't really anything to force necessarily. But I think, yeah, once he said that, there was a shift where I knew I did have to be aggressive in order for us to keep going, and build off of the momentum that we had, especially from Scotty that we had early on in the game, because we have multiple threats on the floor, so just being able to add to that as well, and continue to be aggressive throughout the game. I know that that's what I need to do. So he's right. I do need to come out like that from jump, but yeah, that won't be an issue again, I'm sure.
Peyton, you took a couple hard fouls tonight, but bounced up with a flair and energy. How excited are you to be able to play with that passion again?
Man, I love just being on the floor, being under the lights, playing with my teammates. I feel like I'm a pretty passionate player, so y'all gonna see that throughout the rest of the year.
She a passionate player, man. She a dog.
I know the focus was on tonight, but a pretty big opponent on Sunday, 12th ranked, all that. What challenge do they present in the early going, or how exciting is it to bring a team of that caliber to you and playing in Eugene?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's super exciting for us, for the community, but I think we're not going to make it bigger than what it is. We're going to focus on Oregon, and we're going to take it one day at a time, and we're going to enjoy this win, enjoy each one, look at the film, and then move forward. And when that number 12 team, Baylor, comes into town, we'll take care of them then.
Mm-hmm.
Deja, the way you guys finished, Kelly seemed kind of a little disappointed in the fourth quarter. What changed there? Can you kind of talk about maybe what you need to do better to close games?
Yeah, I think we had too many drop-offs, with our energy, with our communication, with our activity, really on both sides of the ball. I think the ball kind of started to stick again in that fourth. We weren't getting as many stops, so we couldn't push in transition, so we had to go against the set defense. So I think all of those things kind of together just caused us to get out of rhythm, out of our flow that we had built in that first half, and in the third quarter as well. In that third quarter as well. So I think what he wants is just for us to try to be as consistent with at least the things that we can control. We can control our communication, we can control our activity, our energy. Those are things that we can control, and I think that those things alone will take care of everything else. So that's I think what he was mostly disappointed in, especially from his leaders too.
They sound like Kelly Graves, don't they? Like, just listening to their breakdown, they sound like Kelly Graves. Yeah. Deja Kelly, Peyton Scott, two of the veterans that are leading this team. Timeout. When we come back, getting ready for Maryland. Duck football hosting the Terps. Also, it's Oregon volleyball match day. Let's break the record for attendance, huh? Let's get over 7,000 at Matthew Knight Arena tonight for the Huskers of Nebraska. A little volleyball preview, also talking with some Duck football student athletes next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
You're listening to Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow. You sound just like him.
Then he said.
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
It's Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack here in the Country Financial Studio. Talking Oregon football, the Ducks have really done a nice job containing quarterbacks as the year has gone on. One of the points that Jamari Caldwell made this week, Ducks have gotten better in that category. And they're going to have to against a pass-heavy team, about maybe 40 times a game that Maryland's going to throw the ball. A passing attack from Mike Loxley's offense. Jamari Caldwell, Nico Reed, two guys talking defense. Jamari Caldwell has been a big-time addition to this Oregon team. He met with the media here this week.
What do you see from this Maryland offense?
High tempo. They could gas you, dash you, try to get you tired. They got some playmakers, real good playmakers, but we just got to stop the run and get off the field, really. Fast tempo offense.
What do you see from this quarterback specifically?
Elite. I done played against a lot of quarterbacks. He made good decisions. I seen scramble out the pocket pretty good pocket presence. But I feel like we can slow him down.
You guys have played a lot of mobile quarterbacks this year, done a pretty good job containing them for the most part. How would you kind of grade out how you guys have, kept those guys contained for the most part?
We've been controlling the cage pretty good this year. A lot of our stunts and movements come from just controlling the cage. Well, I think we've been doing pretty good. Early in the year, we gotta let a couple guys get out, but you've seen it a lot. UCLA was our biggest challenge because they ran a lot of screens. And they got the quarterback out a lot. He didn't really do that. I feel like we've been pretty good though.
How do you have Jordan back and Mateo kind of had that opportunity to develop? How would you describe your guys' front and how dangerous you can be on a Saturday?
I feel like we connected. We said we play as a group right now. I feel like Birch coming back. We got a guy that's 6'6" at the edge, so a lot of perimeter run don't come towards his way. Everybody back dialed in, get to the quarterback, trying to get some more sacks. Birch is sack leader right now. I want to see him get some more. He back and healthy, so yeah.
What's it going to take for you to get in there?
Oh man, I've been fiending for one, low key. Last year did pretty good, get some, but I feel like it'll come to me. I think what I do, a lot of stuff I do probably might not show up on stat sheet, but I take pride in that. I never noticed like me taking on a double team and stopping the run felt way better than getting the sack sometimes.
How do you feel like you can judge yourself if I played good when stats don't show it?
You see how I judge myself right now?
How do you know you played well?
When they're lined on, no movement, you know what I'm saying? I want to say teams haven't threatened to run down the middle when I'm in there, but I feel like I got some good technique, corkscrew. A lot of guys don't just burst up the middle running the ball. We had some couple iffy problems at the beginning of the year when it came down to Genty, but right now I haven't seen nobody try to run down the middle, but a lot of attempts, but yeah, I got a corkscrew in there. I got to hold it down.
Gotten a chance to go up against some of these offensive linemen who are getting a shot this week without Marcus in, so like Kavika, for example, in practice. Like what is he like to go up against in practice?
Kavika go fill that little hole in pretty great. Kavika, that's one guy that's like, when it come down to effort, it's gonna be every play after the whistle. I mean, not after the whistle, but you know what I'm saying. You saw some D linemen, they'll rush, the whistle blown, they'll stop. He go keep going. He got some fight in him. He a dog. Them Samoans, they my boys, they bang. Yeah, they bang.
And now that Dave Aiuli's been able to practice the past couple of weeks, what have you seen from him now that you've got a chance?
He got the most. He is 19. He got the most confidence in himself, and that's the best thing I ever seen in my life. He go bring the energy. I never seen a day with him without energy. He hurt. Springtime he had energy. It ain't a day he never had energy. And he never doubted himself. He gonna keep pushing and keep making you work also. And he go talk his little smack too. Yeah.
I haven't seen as much of Amari and some of the freshmen as we will in future years, but can you just talk about what you've seen from a development of some of Amari and Tion and all those guys? What's impressed you there?
Like I said, you may not see it on the stat sheet, but when you cut film on Amari, they're one of the most explosive players you go against. It's like it's a play last week against Michigan, and it was towards the goal line. He was the main reason we got to stop towards the goal line with his knockback and his explosiveness. You may not see that, you know what I'm saying? Some tackles he run after the ball, be doing great. Some tackles may not show up. You may miss a couple of tackles, but when they come down to like D-line play, you'll know, like taking on scoops, double teams, knockback, he gonna be pretty great. Tion also, man, he gonna be 6'6" guy. 6'6", it's a tall class. 6'6". Once they're young now. The technique is there, but once it's all like click in, they gonna be some dogs. Yeah.
Pretty cool to hear a veteran like Jamari Caldwell, who doesn't get those stats. Like, he's not the stat sheet filler guy, but nobody wants to run at him. And then he's breaking down some of those younger guys, and it's similar with Amari Washington. Amari Washington now, who's played a little fullback for the Ducks. They've been getting after it with some of that position versatility. Now, Nico Reed, sticking with defense on that passing attack. Maryland likes to throw the ball. A lot of different options at receiver. 2 guys that have accounted for 120 catches, combined, that is. Nico Reed talking with the media this week, breaking down where the Duck defensive backs, where they sit heading into this matchup with Maryland.
What do you see from 10 and 1 on the outside there for Maryland?
What was it?
Felton and...
the receivers? Very great receivers. I feel like they're NFL receivers. They have good speed, and they can catch the ball and get vertical. Yards after catch is very good, too, as well, and they have a good quarterback to complement that.
What kind of challenge does this present for your secondary after going against Michigan last week, who didn't have all the talent on the outside?
I feel like it's going to be a pass-a-lot game, so it's going to be a lot of challenges out there for our DBs to make plays. Michigan, they didn't really throw the ball that much to the outside, but this week is going to be a real challenge for the DBs, see where our feet are.
3 newcomers into the secondary, and that you guys are maybe the best secondary in the country. Why do you feel like you guys have been so successful with so many new pieces?
I feel like it all just comes down to just doing our job and playing with technique and executing every call. That's what really makes us do it, and we do it at a high level, and we give effort every play. So I feel like that's just what it comes down to.
Going off that, how are you able to do that on a defense that doesn't force an excessive amount of turnovers?
I feel like it's just you got to do your job at the end of the day. You can't really try to go take those plays. You really got to wait till those plays come to you. You can't really chase those. So just doing your job and plays will come to you.
What stands out about this quarterback?
What stands out is that he's going to throw the ball no matter what, and he's very smart. So he knows where the safeties are, and he knows how to throw away from the coverage and the leverage, and he understands the timing of the routes. So within the offense, so that's good about the quarterback.
How exciting is it as a corner to prepare for a team like that, where you know that he's going to throw like that, and you know that they're going to feed their number one receiver. So when you're lined up on him, that you could be challenged. Like we're in weeks where, like last week, you guys weren't getting challenged as much. Mm-hmm. This is going to be one of those kind of games where, yeah, they are going to go after you.
Yeah, for a corner, it's exciting to know that the ball is going to be in the air. It's been a while since the ball has been in the air a lot, but this game is really going to be a challenge. And I like when the ball's in the air because it gives me a lot of opportunities to make plays on the ball.
Were you pushing to be in that punt return competition, and kind of walk us through what the last couple of days have been like?
Punt return, a guy goes down, you have to pick another guy up. So I feel like they already knew I had punt return and kick return experience. So putting me back there was just like let's see how he does back there.
How do you feel you've done? I mean, we've seen like 2 reps or whatever, but I'm sure you do a little bit more than that.
I mean, I feel like I'm natural with it. So it's just football. At the end of the day, I've been doing good with getting under the ball and catching it with my elbows tight. So yeah.
Where do you feel like you've grown the most personally in your last few years here?
I feel like my mentality, my mindset, and also a part of my game that improved was my tackling.
Might be an opportunity with some young receivers on the outside, particularly. So what do we not see? What you see in practice from either Jurion a little bit more or Jeremiah on the outside? I haven't really seen much at practice with them. I've been really, going against the same guys. So yeah, but just looking at it, it's just a lot of those guys are getting reps out there and like moving around the offense to get different routes and stuff like that, moving into the slide into the outside. I guess what's impressed you going against Justice? I mean, this is a guy that's kind of just emerged recently. What stood out about him?
He has great speed and he can run routes and he's smart. He knows what leverage the DB's playing. He knows how to attack it. He knows how to go away from it.
It's been one of the common threads with Justice Lowe that he is just consistently referenced as a smart, intelligent player, can play all of the different receiver positions, which has been really valuable for the Ducks. Look, they're facing some adversity. They've had some adversity with guys in and out of the rotation at wide receiver. Justice Lowe been able to plug in different spots. Join us for our pregame starting at 2 o'clock. My conversation from today with wide receivers coach Junior Adams, really, really fascinating about how the Ducks go about coaching the different receiver positions and how valuable it is to have that versatility. And if you can't join us live, subscribe to the Oregon Sports Network podcast because we'll have the pregame interviews for you there Saturday morning. Elsewhere on the offensive line, gets his number called when Marcus Harper goes down, Kavika Rogers. He was ready, and getting to know him and where his mindset was a little bit. Here's Kavika Rogers.
That's a tough spot to get thrown into, coming off the sideline. What goes through your mind ahead of that play, and talk us through, like, all right, you had those moments, but you also had some others that were pretty good. So just what's it like being thrown out there against a first-round pick?
Yeah, just getting thrown out into the fire. I was ready for it. I wasn't anticipating it. I wasn't really focused on that, but I prepared like I'm a starter. I prepared like I'm gonna play, and I just got to be ready for the moment and just go in there.
We've seen you practice both tackle and guard over the years. Do you feel more at home at one or the other? Obviously, you're getting the opportunity to guard right now, but do you feel most comfortable at one spot or one side of the line versus the other?
I say I feel more comfortable at guard just because I got help from the center and the tackle. But I've always played tackle my whole life back in high school, and I know I came in as a tackle, and I feel like my home spot is really right tackle.
You mentioned kind of being ready for the moment. And Dan talked about how well you've been doing in practice. Walk us through why you've been kind of in that position. What's led you there?
Really, it's just wherever coach needs me is the biggest thing for me. I'm not just preparing for, just tackle or just guard. I'm really preparing my whole body for every position that's on the line. If coach needs me to go to center, I'll go to center. If coach needs me to go to guard, I'll go to guard. If coach needs me to go to tackle, I'll play tackle. It's really just where coach needs me and the betterment for the team.
Obviously, the goal each week is, get better and win games. But in a high-powered offense like this, are you having fun?
I can't wish for anything more, Like, I prayed for days like this, times like this. So I'm having the most fun I ever could have in my life. I wouldn't want it anywhere else. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I wouldn't want it any other way. You know, this is my life. Like, I love it. It's so fun out here.
There's something special about being next to Poncho, too. I know you guys are pretty tight. Walk us through what that's like, and maybe is that somebody who's kind of motivated you to be ready for your moment because he's done it himself?
Yeah, so people may not know, but me and Poncho have the same birthday. So we call each other twins. Like, that's my brother till the day I die. And just being next to him and playing next to him, you know, both from the 808, both representing Hawaii, both representing our family the same way. It's a different feeling knowing that I got somebody from home, you know, right next to me, and the communication we have, the connection we have together is basically unstoppable with him next to me.
Did you guys have an exchange when you first came in the game or anything? Did he help calm you down, or what was that like playing next to him in that first rep?
Yeah, so we all seen it, you know, but I feel like Poncho really helped me calm my nerves. I was so excited, you know, I finally got in the game. I was so happy to get in, and shoot, I knew he was a first-round pick. I knew the guy I was going against. But Poncho just told me, like, no, you're good. Don't worry about it. Like, breathe. You're okay. And we have this thing in the oil room called flash stick mindset, like the Men in Black. Okay. So you forget about that last play, no matter good or bad. You just forget about it and move on to the next.
Well, this Saturday, the opportunity to start, but probably play the most snaps in a game. If that opportunity comes your way, what'll that mean to you?
It'll mean a lot. You know, it'll mean a lot. We have good players in the O-line room, good athletes, great athletes. And it's just all in God's plan, you know, just leaving it in God's hands, make sure everything that I do is in his hands.
You've had a chance to see Dave practicing a little bit more the past couple of weeks. Just what has it been like having him back on the field, and what does he bring to you guys' room?
I love Dave. I love Dave's energy. I love Dave as a person. When I first got here, he was my roommate. So we got to know each other very well. He's like my brother to me, and he's balling out, man. He's like I said, we have good athletes, we have good players in the O-line room, so no matter what happens, like, I know we're going to be okay.
Look across the field at Bryce Betcher. I think Coach said he's got a little bit of crazy in him. What's the craziest thing you've seen out of him over there?
I think the craziest thing I've ever seen out of him was him going from baseball practice to football practice every single day. Yeah. You know, and going from a football scrimmage straight to a baseball practice or straight to a baseball game. Like, I think it's not more crazy, it's more of a mentality or mindset for him.
How would you describe his mentality? What he brings to you guys?
He wants to be a champion. He wants to win. He don't settle for nothing less. He wants to play the ball. Like, he wants to play both sides. He wants to play baseball and football no matter what.
Talking about Bryce Betcher, yeah, it's been fun to watch that story unfold for me, both on the football gridiron and on the the baseball diamond. I'm getting into baseball mode and getting into volleyball mode. We're officially into the overlapping period, but I seriously mean that. Just seeing him go in the spring, for example, from football practice to baseball was just cool to see. I mean, I know that story now has gotten a lot of national attention, rightfully so. Really cool for Bryce Betcher. Really cool. That's Kavika Rogers. Figures to have an important role for the Ducks here moving forward. When we come back, it's volleyball match day. Big match day at Matthew Knight Arena. Stick with us on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
This is Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver.
and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Kids ask their parents a lot of questions.
Why can't people fly?
Gravity.
Is the moon really made of cheese?
Yep, cream cheese.
When can I move into a big kid's car seat?
For some questions, parents may not have the answer, but that's okay. They can't know everything, but knowing the right seat for their age and size will help protect them in a car crash. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Where do babies come from?
Good luck, Dad. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Ducks Match Day at Matthew Knight Arena. I'm Joey Mack, wrapping up Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Heard a lot from Oregon women's basketball after their 2-0 start. Oregon football getting ready to take on Maryland. It's going to be a fun matchup at Autzen Stadium. First time that they're ever meeting. And meanwhile, Oregon volleyball tonight. Matthew Knight Arena opens at 6 p.m. Match starts at 7 p.m. A week featuring a pair of top 15 opponents for the Ducks. Thursday at home, and then over the weekend on the road against Minnesota. This will be the 10th meeting between Oregon and Nebraska. Just the second in Eugene. Last time Nebraska was here for volleyball, I wasn't alive. It was 1986. Ducks are 2-2 against Nebraska under head coach Matt Ulmer. And just a reminder that the Matt Ulmer first career win ball sits on the desk, sending good vibes for Oregon women's basketball tonight. August 25th, 2017, Oregon a 3-1 set winner over Nebraska. Matt Ulmer's first career win. And now it sits on the desk, and in the words of Matt Ulmer, he just wants us to have to think about him every day. I do! Every time I look at the Matt Ulmer first career win ball. Well, here's to a winning record for Matt Ulmer against Nebraska. Ducks are 2-2 against him. This is a huge one for the Ducks. Not just big, it's a huge one for the Ducks. At 7 o'clock tonight, Big Ten Network for TV. KWVA, our student radio station, has the hometown call. Tomorrow, we will make picks. Jerry's down 5.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song. I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Ugh! I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to